So first things first, we're gonna just use some passive modalities to try to inhibit certain parts. And we're gonna like strengthen them, get that neurological connection going. It's a whole thing. Don't worry about it. So first things first, we're gonna go with. You're gonna look at my notes. Reversed wrist curl stretch. So you've done this before, right? Thumb up, internally rotate, down. Take this thumb, hook under here. Use this finger and the rest of your hand. Hook here, down. And then the important part is to take the inside of your elbow and try to point it outward. So it's going to be down, rotate out. You're going to get a big, deep stretch along your brachialis or coracal brachioradialis. That's the one. 2 minutes, right? By the way, this is not something you do before bench. This is something you do after bench. So you have your stretch, and then you have your flossing. So it's going to be the same thing, right? So this time we're going to grab your thumb, hook it in here. We're going to go down and twist, out and twist, down and twist, out and twist. When you come down, really squeeze the shit out of your forearm as if you're doing a really tight curl, right? Really hard, out rotate, and then extend back. One of the biggest problems with benching is that we're always in this contracted state where we're trying to squeeze the shit out of the bar, trying to keep tension. The problem is we're contracting these big ass muscles. You'll notice that yours is probably really large, right? You're contracting it in a shortened state, so you're asking it to contract as hard as it can when there has nowhere else to go, and it's like, oh, pain, because there's nothing else to go. Nowhere else to go. So that's the stretch, and that's flossing. Number 3 is going to be the static hold in flexion. So what that means is you can find an elevated surface, roughly just below shoulder width, shoulder height. And you go out, your head will go down, let it come down, right? Go as far as you can. You might not have 90 degrees. We're powerlifters, mobility is not our thing, right? Find a weight that you cannot curl for too many reps, right? Reverse. So take the weight, let it dangle, extend just a little tiny bit. So from like here to here, and just extend really hard, static reverse curl. You should start feeling a muscle in here, maybe in here. This might actually instantly relieve the pain. And if it does, that's a good thing. It's a good sign that we're on the right track. So what you're gonna do is 10 sets of 10 seconds on, 10 seconds off. So it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 10, back. Hello, I'm sorry. And then the fourth thing is actually the same thing except reps, right? So once again, elevated surface, roughly just below shoulder height. Get your weight, except this one, you're obviously gonna do something considerably lighter. This is an 8-pound weight, so maybe start with between 2 and 5, somewhere like that. It's really light because we're gonna go super high reps. So same position, right? All the way down, all the way up, extend them up hard, down, hard, down, hard, down, hard. 3 sets of 15 to 20 reps, get a real serious burn in there. So there's this thing called ulnar variance. It just means that certain parts of your bone, I actually have negative ulnar variance. It means it's high or it's low, negative, positive, doesn't really matter. I don't have an x-ray of your wrist or anything, so obviously I won't be able to know. So with reverse wrist curls, sometimes what can happen is there's this little thing in there called the TFC that can get caught, and then it's just a lot of fucking pain, right? Actually, you might be able to, no, you can't hear mine right now, but when it comes to reverse curl, you might need to do a little rotation with it as well. And it might be in either direction. Find the one that's most comfortable for you, hits this the hardest without causing any pain or clicking. If it's clicking, that's fine, but if the clicking has any sort of pain associated with it, then that's not something we're looking for. And then last but not least, we're going for basically the same thing, except this one's gonna be unloaded, right? It's gonna be reverse wrist curls with finger extension. Ooh, see, I can't even do that. If you go here, I can't extend my fingers all the way without my hand going this direction, right? So that's not a good sign. It's actually one of the reasons that mine just lit up. So what we're gonna do, same position, just below shoulder height, right? It's gonna be down, contract really hard, down, like this. And then you're gonna go up and out. Extend your fingers hard. So from down here extend, extend. And something you might have to do at the end of this, or at the end of the rep is, so you have your arms straight, but mine's gonna be bent for purposes of the video. You're gonna extend. You might have to, yeah, we'll go here. So you go back and you extend. While you're extending really hard back, you might wanna take your hand and do that as well. The difference here is that even though it's pretty much the same muscles, there's this, the brachioradialis attaches to, we'll call it the hand. There's like 9-ish bones in here. 9 or 10, I can't remember right now, but anyways, so one of the muscles, the brachioradialis, goes from way up here, right, your ridge, all the way down to here. That's what's doing most of this, and that's what's causing most of your pain. It's gonna be like a peripheralized sensation. What we wanna do by getting this strong is there's another set of muscles that actually attach in your fingers that can help take care of this, meaning when we're back here, we're benching and we're like contracting really hard. It's not just the brachioradialis, but it's all these other muscles in here. There's a lot in the forearm that are gonna help you stay stable when you're here, in your bench press, OHP, whatever it is. So it's gonna take a little bit of load off of here. The problem is, again, we're so here and extended and strong in this position, we never really do any of this, right? We never do any of this. We also never do any of this, because the muscles that extend the fingers also extend the wrist. So basically, English, that's really tough. This is already a 10-minute video, it wasn't supposed to be. So, to recap, we're gonna do reverse wrist curl stretch. Bam, 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 down, right? And twist out. 2 minutes. Then we're gonna go into same thing, but it's gonna be flossing, right? A little bit of rotation if you need it. And then we're gonna go into your static hold and flexion, which, Kamehameha. And then we're gonna static hold all the way down, just a little up, 10 seconds, really hard. Again, this is an 8, maybe find a 15 or 20 pound weight, something that you can't really do for reps. Number 4, reverse curls, right, okay, for reps. You're 3x15, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up. Nice contractions, get a sick pump. And then last but not least, reverse curls with finger extension, unloaded. Blam. Blam. And if you need it, that concludes this awkward rant.